Most agents have built a business that depends entirely on one thing continuing to be true: that rates stay in a certain range, inventory stays loose, first-time homebuyers keep qualifying, investors keep buying. And when that one thing changes, and it always does, there's nothing underneath it. No second string, no fallback, just a pipeline that dried up because the market moved. I've watched this play out in real time with agents I genuinely respect. Interest rates go up meaningfully, first-time homebuyer affordability compresses. An agent who built their entire practice around first-time homebuyers suddenly has a pipeline that's 60% of what it was. Not because they're doing anything wrong, it's because the market moved and there was nothing else. Or the reverse, a hot market cools, investor activity pulls back sharply, and an agent who specialized in investment property sales is scrambling to replace that volume with a type of buyer they haven't worked with in years. Concentration risk in a referral-based business works exactly the same way it works in an investment portfolio. The more you depend on a single source, a single client type, a single neighborhood, a single type of transaction, the more exposed you are when that source dries up. The agents who consistently produce across market cycles aren't necessarily more talented than the ones who don't. They just build more streams. Here's the framework I'd suggest: 3 professional referral partnerships that produce durable, consistent volume regardless of the rate environment. Each one accesses a different buyer profile that your current pipeline probably doesn't reach systematically. Number 1, CPAs and financial advisors. These professionals have clients who are actively thinking about what to do with capital. Investment account proceeds, business equity, real estate equity, inherited assets. When a client decides to deploy capital into real estate, the CPA or financial advisor is often the first call. If you're not positioned as that advisor's real estate partner, someone else is getting that referral. The entry point for this relationship isn't a pitch, it's being a resource. Show up with something useful. A one-page breakdown of what real estate returns have looked like in your market over the last 5 years. Or a case study of a client who used equity strategically to build a portfolio. Come as a contributor, not as someone looking for referrals. The second one is divorce attorneys. Divorce attorneys create real estate transaction. The marital home is often the largest asset in a settlement. It gets sold, or one spouse buys out the other, or both parties frequently need to qualify for a new mortgage as a single borrower. Divorce attorneys need a reliable real estate professional and a reliable mortgage lender who understand the process. And what's crazy is most of them don't have one they consistently use. The third one, real estate and elder law attorneys. Probate sales, trust liquidations, clients downsizing after a spouse passes or moves into assisted living. These are often clean transactions. They have motivated sellers, clear title, and straightforward decisions. And most real estate attorneys don't have the go-to real estate agent they systematically refer to. The relationship is available, it just takes someone showing up for it. The agent who did this best in the last few years, someone I've worked with closely, didn't start with CPAs or attorneys. He started with investor meetup events. Solid producer, primarily worked in move-up buyer market in Denver suburbs, hit his goals consistently when rates were favorable. When the rate environment shifted, his pipeline compressed along with it. Well, he made one strategic decision. He started attending local investor meetup events, not to prospect, not to pitch, to learn what investors in his market were actually working on and be useful in whatever way he could. He showed up to these events for about 8 months before a single transaction resulted from it. That's a long time to invest without a return. Most agents would have stopped going after the second meeting. But I'm going to tell you, 3 years later, that investor network produces roughly 30% of his annual transaction volume. Investors who need to sell properties, investors looking to acquire, investors referring other investors who are looking for an agent in his market, it compounds because trust compounds. You see, he didn't get there by handing out business cards. He got there by being genuinely useful before he had any reason to expect anything in return. That's the only version of this that actually works. Where most agents go wrong with this, and I've heard it 100 times, is going to one event and expecting results. I've heard agents say, I've tried that networking thing. It didn't work. What they mean is they say they went twice and nobody sent them a deal. That's not networking, that's a sampling. At the end of the day, a CPA is not going to refer a client to someone they've had one lunch with. An estate attorney is not going to trust their client's largest transaction to someone they met at a chamber event. These relationships are built over months of consistent presence before any transaction results. One meeting is an introduction. 6 consistent months is the beginning of a relationship. 12 consistent months is a relationship that produces. The agents who build these streams successfully are the ones who think of it as a 2-year investment, not a 2-week experiment. All right, one thing this week, just one. Pick one of the 3 categories described: CPAs and financial advisors, divorce attorneys, or estate attorneys. So just make a list of 5 professionals in that category in your market. Not 20, 5. Reach out to the first one with something specific and useful, not let's grab a coffee. Find out what their clients' real estate challenges are and come up with a question, not a pitch. And if any of their clients are financing, bring me into that conversation. I can be a resource for your referral partner before a transaction ever exists. That's value you're delivering to them before you ask for anything. So schedule a call at teamaronheim.com for realtors or text me at 720-200-5464. If you want to build a business that produces in any market, this is the framework: multiple streams, high-value professional relationships, time and patience. If you want to talk through how to position yourself in any of these conversations specifically, reach out. These are the kind of conversations I have with agent partners regularly. Schedule a call at teamaronheim.com for realtors or text me at 720-200-5464.